So let us set up a DHCP to also deploy an IP address to all the hosts that we have over here. So here is the topology we use when we are setting up the LAN. So what makes it possible for us to say that we are going to set DHCP on this guy? So what makes it possible is because this switch is layer 2 switch and it is managed switch. So when we say managed switch, it is a switch that an identity administrator will log in and turn on the security feature that is embedded in it. Now on this layer 2 switch, there is a room for us to configure DHCP. We'll make this switch to do the work of DHCP for us. Now let's dive in as we move ahead. So remember, we also click on this switch. So on this switch here, we're also going to start the same way. Let's also start the same way we did. So let me say exit so that we'll start afresh if it's your first time. So this is a switch. So this is the name we give to this switch. So what we need to do, we'll say enable, we'll say config t. So this config t. Now what we need to do, we'll begin to do what? Create DHCP on this switch. So we'll say IP DHCP. So the next thing is DHCP. So have IP DHCP, sorry. So say DHCP, then say pool, then VLAN. So we hit enter. Then the next thing we need to do, we say network. So this is a network. So what is IP address? We name it 192.168. So the 168, we'll say dot, maybe we'll have this guy be 100, maybe dot 0. So this is a network we are giving. So 255.255.255.0. So as we get 0, we hit enter. We'll then say default dash router. So this will become a default gateway to everyone or all the hosts that's also connected to this switch 168.100.1. So this, so here we say exit. So let's say exit from here that we have done this. So but this is not going to work based on our intention. So what we need to do, this switch must be assigned IP address. It must be a host that will stand on his own to be able to give out this IP address to all these hosts instead that also connected to it. So what do we need to do? We say interface, then we say VLAN. So VLAN what? VLAN 1. So when we are talking about VLAN, anywhere you hear about VLAN 1, just try to know that this VLAN 1 is that host, which is the switch is referred to be VLAN 1. So now we say VLAN 1, we hit enter, then we say IP address. Now we say 192.168.100. we say dot what? Dot what should we say? If you can look at here, we say IP address 192.168 dot what? We say dot 1. So he is dot 1 because he is the first host that's also going to be a default gateway. Then the next thing we need to do, we say 255.255.255.0. So as we say 0, we hit enter. At this point we said end. We have done configuring DHCP on a layer 2 switch. So we say WR. So as I say end here, I say WR here simply means write memory. So in another way of saying save in this Cisco switch, and the only time you say WR, which is means save. So this is what the DHCP will configure. So how? Let's explain it. We'll say IP DHCP pool VLAN. Then we say network. Network simply means what are the network of everybody that is also going to connect to this switch. So here, remember I will say that this network because here is 0. Had it been that here is 1, it's no more a network, it becomes an IP address. But their network at this time is 100. So this guy is trying to tell us that it can likely be from 1. Because the host can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to 254. So no matter how, so that's why they give us 1 here. So the switch itself have taken 1. So the IP address that will be given to all the hosts over here should be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Now it doesn't matter what it gives between the ranges of what of 2 to 254. So here we also go back again and also look at what will be the IP address of this guy. So come here, so go to IP address. So this is the DHCP that this guy was given before. So let's go back and see what is the new one that this guy will give to us here. Can you see? Successfully, it is working perfectly well. So this guy have gotten what, the 300.3, and here is the subnet mask, and here is what our default gateway that we enable us to do what, to see each other. So when you get to this guy too, let's see on how it's also going to work. So here is the DHCP that was obtained before we now begin to set new. So let's get the new one. Here is what, 10.4. so here is the default gateway. So that is how this guy too also get his own. Let's give it away. So here we'll cancel this, so 10 from obtain new one. So here it is. So let's go to the last here. So this is the last host we have. So on this last host here we have the IP configuration. We leave this because we don't want it. Then we'll come over here and DHCP. So here this guy obtained the DHCP is the 5 hosts. As a host is the 5, which means now let's try to ping each other to see. So at this point, how should we ping? Now we need to, if you're a first person, this is your first time watching, so you need to go to this BC, then you go to command prompt. As your system also has a command prompt, so we need to ping from here. So what we need to do, we say ping, so 192.168.100, let's start from 1. So say ping, oh sorry, this will give us error because it's 100, sorry, should be 100 not 10. So let's wait a bit and see what will be outcomes. Yes, so it's 100 not 10. So it's done, it's already done. So what we need to do, we need to also type correct IP address we're looking at. So come over here, add more 0. So look at, so let's see what will be the outcome. 100.1. so this is 100.1. Hey, you see it's very successful. So the first one said timeout. So timeout, when you make a call, a simple call, sometimes it tells the number you are calling is not available. So this is also the network failure. Now at the end of the day, when it connects, you try it again, it's also works. So that is exactly what's happening here. This is to tell us that the fair one. So normally we send the 4 packet, the 4 packets. Now you look at it here, 1 2 3 4 plus 1, that's 12, make it 4. So how 1 minute that they receive, we receive 3. So now we lost 1. So this is the one you see over here. This is one we lost. So this is to say that this guy worked well. Now let's try the .5. We'll have .5 over there. So this guy is going successful. So this to say that the IP and the DHCP will configure is working successfully well. So thank you for watching. Subscribe as we also move on to see on how we also create a VLAN and inter-VLAN routing and IP routing. So these are the things that we are going to learn. So thank you for watching and subscribe.